Is this it? Are we seeing the pushback that will finally knock these overlords out of power? In this video, we're going to look at the massive backlash that's brewing against Nancy Pelosi and the CDC's mask reversal. You're going to have your chance to tell us what you think in the comment section below, and stick with me to the very end of this video where I'll reveal why this backlash is just getting started. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings everyone, Dr. Stevie with you. Wonderful to be with you as always. We are your daily fake news antidotes each and every day. I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in this crazy and tumultuous world. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we dive into things here, make sure to click on the link below and head on over to my special website for my PATRIOT food supplies. We sold with the whole pandemic insanity. We cannot wait for an emergency to happen before we respond to one, and no one makes preparing for an emergency more ridiculously easy and affordable than my PATRIOT supply. Gang, they are simply the best. Their food kits last up to 25 years in storage. They include breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and if you act now, you can save 25% off a full 4-week emergency food supply when you click on the link below to my special website. So do not wait. I got my food supply. Make sure you get yours. Click on that link below, or go to preparewithsteve.com and save 25% off your very own 4-week emergency food supply today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. As many of you know, the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, has flip-flopped yet again on their mask guidelines. First off, we were told that while the World Health Organization wanted everyone wearing masks originally, the CDC said only those who were sick or caring for someone had to wear a mask. Then we were told before the vaccine rollout that everyone needs to wear a mask, period. Then with the advent of the vaccines, only people who haven't had the vaccine need to wear masks. And now we're being told everyone needs to wear masks once again.
You're tearing me apart!
Yeah, so if you're a little confused, join the club. In fact, Fox News was bold enough to push back against the CDC about face when Peter Doocy asked Jen Circleback Psaki why, if vaccines work, then why do people who have had the vaccine have to wear masks?
Still, then why do vaccinated people need to put the masks back on?
Well, Peter, first of all, I would say again, just to go back to this chart, which I will handily point to again, if you were vaccinated, it can save your life. And I think the clear data shows that this pandemic is killing, is hospitalizing, is making people very sick who are not vaccinated. That still continues to be the case, regardless of what the mask guidance looks like.
The vaccines work, which this sign says that they do. Then why do people who have had the vaccine need to now wear masks, the same as people who have not had it?
Because the public health leaders in our administration have made the determination based on data that that is a way to make sure they're protected, their loved ones are protected, and that's an extra step given the transmissibility of the virus that they're advising people.
Well, you can see why they call her Circleback Psaki. You need to wear the mask because we experts say you have to wear them. You heard it yourself, quote, public health leaders in our administration have made the determination. No data, no evidence, no actual argument, just a fallacious appeal to authority. Wear the masks because we said so. So it's not surprising that in the wake of such arrogant hypocrisy, there really is a massive backlash awakening against the CDC reversal. Tucker Carlson at Fox, in many ways, is leading that charge. He reminded all of us the other night that we're told for months that if we got vaccinated, we could get back to our lives. We could return to normal. And so tens of millions of people believe that. They got their shots. And what are they getting in return? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Go back to wearing your masks and shut up about it, or CNN is going to call you a murderer. Well, it appears that the public is not shutting up about this. Republican governors across the nation are flat out rejecting the new recommendations from the CDC. Governor Pete Ricketts in Nebraska issued a statement, quote, "The CDC's new guidance suggesting that vaccinated people wear masks indoors flies in the face of the public health goals that should guide the agency's decision-making." He said in this statement, the state of Nebraska will not be adopting their mask guidance. Wow. Governor Doug Ducey of Arizona echoed those sentiments, saying, quote, public health officials in Arizona and across the country have made it clear that the best protection against COVID-19 is the vaccine. Today's announcement by the CDC will unfortunately only diminish confidence in the vaccine and create more challenges for public health officials. People have worked tirelessly to increase vaccination rates. The Republican governor from Iowa, Kim Reynolds, she went even further. She's openly blaming the millions of illegal immigrants who've been flooding through the southern border for the latest COVID spike. They're getting dispersed throughout the country. They obviously haven't been unvaccinated. They have not been vaccinated, just like those evil anti-vax Americans that CNN loves to hate on, but yet not a peep from the CDC on how this immigration crisis at the southern border is contributing to this. Interesting. But here's the thing. It's not just Republican leaders in red states that are pushing back against this. Even Democratic-led cities are coming out and saying that they won't make changes to their mask policies without first understanding the facts. New York health officials are reportedly very hesitant to bring back mask mandates without seeing the CDC data for themselves. So the backlash isn't simply coming from the right. We're finding it's coming from the left as well. And to make matters even worse, something even more sinister happened as of today. You may have heard this. Fox News is reporting that a member of Congress obtained a police memo that orders U.S. Capitol Police to start arresting visitors and staff who refuse to wear a mask on the House side of the Capitol complex. It's now being reported even in the international media that Nancy Pelosi is now ordering the arrest of staff and visitors to the Capitol. But here's the key. Capitol Police are not allowed to arrest members of Congress.
Well, isn't that convenient for you?
Yeah, I know how convenient is right, but this is precisely what's at issue here, isn't it? Rules for thee, not for me. You see, what we have to understand is that this backlash against the constantly changing guidelines and mandates, it's not just going on here in the States, it's going on all over the world. I did a video you'll definitely want to check out on how Europe is exploding as we speak. We're seeing protests in Greece and riots breaking out in France in response to their respective vaccine mandates. President Macron of France, in fact, he's getting some huge pushback as he wants to get to 100% vaccination in France. And French citizens are being told they're not going to be allowed to participate in society until they get vaccinated. So we're seeing a comparable pushback in Australia as well. I mean, this is going on all over the world. So what is going on? Well, again, if you've been a regular to this channel, it's going to come to no surprise to you that we're seeing the latest development of the collapse of confidence among global populations in what's called our expert class. Now, because globalist societies are technological societies, they foster a class of technological experts to oversee and govern society. And what's happened over the last couple of years is that more and more portions of populations have come to the conclusion that this expert class, particularly as it's merged with the permanent political class like Pelosi, tends to govern according to its own interests and concerns. They rule according to their own values, which of course are the values, interests, and concerns of the permanent political class. And here's the key. Those values, interests, and concerns are becoming increasingly alienated from, and indeed increasingly hostile towards, the values, interests, and concerns of the people, the populace. Or as Pelosi would have it, we'll arrest you if you violate the mask mandate, but we're safe. Rules for thee, not for me. This is what's giving rise to the massive populist backlash against the permanent political class, not just here in the States, but indeed throughout the world. Because the permanent political class is increasingly alienated from the concerns and the values of the people, a new political animus is opening up, a new political antagonism that's defined increasingly as the people versus the political class, the ruled versus the rulers, the ordinary American versus the oligarchs. And as part of that animus, more and more people simply lost any semblance of confidence in our so-called expert class, in the technocrats that govern a technocratic society where more and more people feel like they're being ruled rather than represented. And in the end, that's precisely what's going on here. The more our permanent political class mandates our lives based on because we told you so, the more people feel like they're being ruled rather than represented. And as such, they see these mandates as indicative of nothing less than the loss of their country, the loss of representative government at the hands of a permanent political class that rules according to their own benefit and concerns, which is all another way of saying this backlash may indeed be just beginning. Now, before you go, you'll definitely want to check out my latest video on Simone Biles being called a selfish sociopath and a national disgrace. You're not going to want to miss that, so make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.